Brodie Fraser, highest point scorer. Outside of him, current Australia number 1, Joel Berkeley. Second row, current Queensland number 1, Josh Harm. Outside of there, Josh Arthur. Inside the third row is Gary Harris. Outside the third row is Norman Townsend. Have a look at this field. 20 laps. Lights are out. Hang on, folks. Here we go. Production feature race. Ian Botcher Race Parts. Kingaroy Speedway. Go. We are racing. On the inside, Brodie Fraser gets the better of the start where there's a bit of drive down now low on the racetrack. Josh Harm goes with him. Gary Harris is also underneath Joel Berkeley as they've completed one lap. Josh Harm on the inside of Brodie Fraser. Can't do anything about it. In trouble is Gary Harris up onto the infield and out of it with only one lap down on the journey. Down the main straightaway. Car number 32, Brodie Fraser, leads the way from Josh Harm. Back to Joel Berkeley. The next one is Josh Arthur. Michael Blaze would be the next one. As car 57 finds himself on the infield, Thomas Fuller out of this one, but starting to put a bit of distance between himself and the rest of the field. Brodie Fraser. Josh Harm trying to go with him. Bit of a gap back to Joel Berkeley, who's got Josh Arthur not too far away. Next one through there, I think, would be fine that it's Braden Pacey who's got himself clear of the pack. Michael Blaze would be the next one, and in behind him is Adrian Stott. Nick Blaze is in there too, and then we've got Norman Townsend, and before very long they will be starting to lap the field as we've got one turned around on the main straightaway. Yellow one's coming on. And that was Nicole Shelford facing the wrong way. Not just about ready for the restart. We've got 16 more laps to go. Brodie Fraser. Outside the witch's hat they go. Brodie Fraser. Josh Harm lets it drift offline. Here comes Joel Berkeley. Didn't need a second invitation. Parks the car up the inside, but Harmy fights back on the outside and holds on to his position number 2. It's still Brodie Fraser. A big scrap coming on between Australia 1 and Queensland 1 for the minor placings. Back then to Josh Arthur and Braden Pacey. Those cars have cleared away from the rest of the field, although Adrian Stott is joining in that little line of 6 cars right now. Norman Townsend would be the next one. Under the control tower once again for Brodie Fraser. Can he keep it out there on that drive line? Here comes Josh Arthur. Josh Harm. We've got a yellow one on again because we've got a car parked on the inside here. Front 4 or 5 cars really turning it on. The Michael Blaze car is dragging some. Is there anyone game enough to have a go at that outside? Here we go. Harmy's had enough. The car has backfired, and out of this puts Joel Berkeley up into position number 2. Berkeley might have a go round the outside. Hard luck there for Harmy as they go down the back straightaway. It is now Brodie Fraser, Joel Berkeley on the outside, and Josh Arthur down on the inside. Next one through there is Braden Pacey in front of Adrian Stott, and in there too is Norman Townsend. That's the way they go under the tower one more time and head towards the back straight and the western corner. It's still Brodie Fraser. A bit of push and shove back here in position number 2. How about that? Wow. Right hand down, left hand down. We'll have a talk about that later on. One in trouble getting pushed back a couple of places was Braden Pacey, but they're all chasing Brodie Fraser. Fraser, the race leader, from Josh Arthur. Back then to Joel Berkeley in front of Adrian Stott. Braden Pacey would be the next one, Norman Townsend. Car number 41 is Kyle Rowlands as they go careering down the back chute yet again with Adrian Stott now having a little look on the inside of Joel Berkeley, just giving him a little nudge. I'm here as he moves to the inside. Berkeley, can he try to close the door as they go down the back straight away? Adrian Stott on the inside. Berkeley tries to keep him there. The one in front of them is Josh Arthur. Side by side, Adrian Stott, Joel Berkeley. Adrian Stott's got the bigger elbows. Berkeley fights back on the outside. Norman Townsend is now on the inside of Jaden Pacey. We got them two abreast down the main straightaway. It's still Brodie Fraser, comfortable leader. Back to Josh Arthur. Joel Berkeley on the outside of Adrian Stott. Stott stays there. We're going to be three wide around the western corner. Have a look at this. Down the main straightaway. Is there enough room? Josh Arthur on the inside. Adrian Stott. Joel Berkeley runs out of racetrack. It's Adrian Stott on the outside of Josh Arthur. Goes into position number 2. Joel Berkeley wants to go with him. Heading down the main straightaway. It's still Brodie Fraser to the better of Adrian Stott. Now a battle royal between Josh Arthur and Joel Berkeley. Berkeley on the outside of Adrian Stott. There's some drive up high on the racetrack. Side by side while all this is happening, Brodie Fraser is having a nice clean run up the front. They've got 5 laps remaining. Brodie Fraser, Joel Berkeley, Adrian Stott, Josh Arthur. Western corner is where they are. Jaden Peacock would be the next one. Down the main straight, we got a car that has spun. Well, that could have been a disaster and may be a disaster for Adrian Stott. Tried to pull it up. Let's hope no real damage to the car. The car that turned around was Nicole Shelford. Stotty's back in the action. We've got 5 laps remaining. We'll lead them to the outside of the Witch's Hat. Nose to tail, we've got push and shove as Joel Berkeley gives him a little nudge. Berkeley goes to the outside, looking for the drive down the back straightaway is almost level. Side by side into the western corner. Joel Berkeley, can he get the drive around the outside? Joel Berkeley goes into the race lead down the main straightaway. Brodie Fraser fights back. Down on the inside, Berkeley lets it drift a little high, can't hold on. Down the back chute once again. Brodie Fraser is the race leader. Joel Berkeley on the outside. Fraser will take him high, can't do anything about it. Down the main straightaway, Joel Berkeley has got to get back down low on the racetrack as they go side by side again down the back chute. It is now Brodie Fraser. On the outside is Joel Berkeley. Tucked in there behind them is Adrian Stott as they come down the main straightaway. Brodie Fraser, yellow light on. And I think that's the end of Josh Arthur. Thing not sounding all that happy at all. We got 3 to go. Josh Arthur pulls it onto the infield. Will not be happy. That's the way it goes. So, what a race up the front. Car 32, Brodie Fraser, Joel Berkeley, Adrian Stott, Braden Pacey, Norman Townsend. 3 to go. Lights are out. Outside the Witch's Hat. Production feature race. Joel Berkeley leads them under the tower for the first in the restart. Here comes Brodie Fraser up the inside of him. Berkeley will try to get down on the race line. He can't do it. Brodie Fraser tucked in below. Joel Berkeley is the race leader. Brodie Fraser careering up the inside. Couple of laps remaining. Bit of touch, push and shove. Back then to Adrian Stott in front of Braden Pacey as they go round the western corner. Joel Berkeley puts a little bit of a gap between himself and Brodie Fraser. Fraser down the inside. It's the white flag. 1 to go. It's going to come down to a fraction of a second difference into the western corner. Joel Berkeley, Brodie Fraser, side by side. Fraser down low, Berkeley up high, side by side down the main straightaway. You can pick it, folks. Whoa! I can tell you Adrian Stott was third, Braden Pacey was fourth. After that, we'll just have to wait and see. Car number 9. No, what are you talking about? Yes, race winner by a fraction of a second. Put your hands together, Joel Berkeley. Joel Berkeley, Brodie Fraser, and Adrian Stott.
0.005 of a second.
Okay, I can tell you, folks, 5 1/1000ths of a second by the lap scoring. How about that, folks? Put your hands together for every single production driver. Fantastic. Joel Berkeley, Brodie Fraser, Adrian Stott. We've got some presentations. We're going to have a quick word if we can. Wow. What a race. That's going to be hard for everybody else to follow that up. Hey, look, they're all getting out here puffing and blowing. Lost the power steering. And Stotty tells me he's too old. Brodie Fraser's lost the power steering. The only one who's... Well, wait a minute, he's fallen over. Wow. Joel, 5 1/1000ths of a second, they told me. How much of that race car is 5 1/1000ths of a second? Who would know? Well done.
Well, that 5 1/1000ths is me putting it in the wall after the race to get there first. But yeah, that was hella cool. I dropped back air start and I was just running on the bottom and Stotty come and she gave me a lesson and then I got up top and I manned up and yeah, just got Brodie. There's nothing in that at all, so that's awesome.
5 1/1000ths of a second, that's what was in it. Well done. Now we're going to have some very quick photos. I'll get out of the road.